name is Kathy Fang. I am chef owner of Fang Restaurant in Soma, as well as House of Nanking. But House of Nanking is a venture that both my parents started first, and now I've joined the family business. So now it's a trio at House of Nanking. But that's my life. My life has been restaurants and anything to do with food and sharing stories.
Hi there. I'm Jeff, and this is Storied San Francisco, a show about the artists, activists, and working people who make this city totally unique. In this episode, meet and get to know Kathy Fang, a born and raised San Franciscan with one hell of a life story. Kathy's parents, Lily and Peter Fang, opened House of Nanking in 1988 and have run the place since then, lately with Kathy's help. Kathy and her dad also own Fang Restaurant in South of Market. Check back this Thursday to hear part 2. Here's Kathy Fang.
I'll start with where I was born. I was actually born in the Chinese hospital. That is what it's called. Mm-hmm. The Chinese hospital is the main hospital in Chinatown, and it's actually right on Jackson Street.
Oh.
And if you don't know where House of Nanking is located, House of Nanking is located on Kearny. The nearest cross street is Jackson. And so my dad likes to say that I basically rolled out of the hospital and into the House of Nanking. It's so close. I didn't leave the 3-block radius.
Yeah. Well, no one gave you a choice.
No. And it's just really special because my whole life has been obviously the restaurant itself, but also the Chinatown community. And growing up in it, I never thought much about it. I just, this is just life. Mm-hmm. But now that I reflect on it, being a mother of 2 children, and also, having within our hands a restaurant that's been around for 38 years, this kind of legacy, which is so special to our family, there's a lot of conversation around how do we preserve that, how do we share that, and I feel that I can authentically do it because I was born in this neighborhood. I know it so well. Yeah. It means so much to me. It's not like an outsider coming in and saying, well, I want to preserve, which is great. We want that too. But to have someone be a spokesperson for the community, who's from the community, literally born in the community and never left, I feel very blessed to have that sort of upbringing. Mm-hmm. So I probably would start with that first, because I think this sort of role only got bestowed upon me in the last couple of years as my parents started getting older and I started thinking about what do I want to pass down to my children. It instantly became like everything around the community that I grew up in and the restaurant itself.
Things that you know very well and relationships that you've just always had and nurtured, right?
Right.
Yeah, they've just always been your reality.
Yeah.
Can we hear, at the very least, the story of House of Nanking and your parents opening it? Was it 38 years ago? So is that 80s?
Yes.
I mean, say 80s, yeah.
80s.
Yeah, can we hear that story?
Yeah. Interestingly enough, both my parents, prior to emigrating here from China, never had any experience in a restaurant. They were never trained to be chefs. They actually were very well educated, thought they would come here to find better opportunity and go to school.
Okay.
But when they landed in Chinatown, they immediately realized that the first thing they had to do was work. Right? They didn't have much money.
So they did come straight to San Francisco.
Yes.
Amazing.
And
lucky.
Yes. Well, they always say, we got really lucky because it's almost like, where do you want to go? And they just picked San Francisco, right?
Yes.
They're like, what if we picked Wisconsin? No offense to Wisconsin, but you know what I'm saying?
It's like we might not be here right now.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
And so, when they landed, they realized, we don't have a lot of money. We don't actually have the luxury to spend all this time to go to school. And our language, there's a language barrier. Mm-hmm. So they immediately started working in restaurants in Chinatown because that was the easiest thing to do. You didn't have to really speak the language. You're kind of behind the scenes, dishwasher, busboy. Soon they started to learn the language better just by exposure. And
Did they already have any children
No.
when they came here? Okay. And roughly what decade or so was this that they came?
in the mid 80s.
Okay.
Mid 80s. And so, in fact, my parents got married here.
Oh, awesome.
They met in China, and they happened to immigrate here around the same time. And
Okay.
they got connected and say, hey, I know you. We're from the same city.
Yes.
Let's connect. And then they ended up getting married.
I love it. Halfway around the world. And here we are.
Yeah, I know.
love it. I
It's
love
like
it.
fate.
Yes.
So, my mom is like the risk taker.
Okay.
So she tells my dad, hey, I'm noticing all these people who own restaurants have a house, they have a car, and their kids are going to private school. So to them, that's definition of success. And she said, we need to go open a restaurant.
Okay.
Right? And my dad's like, well, we don't have any experience. And my dad was thinking he wanted to go do real estate and be like a realtor, real estate agent, and sell homes and things like that. And so my mom is the kind of person who's like, well, even if you're not on board, I'm going to do it.
Oh, yes.
So she started finding locations and doing stuff. And
Yes.
my grandfather, which was my mom's dad, he picked this location.
Oh, wow.
They were so this is what we're going to do. We found the place. And my dad's just like, okay, right?
Still a little bit.
Yeah. He's like,
sketch.
very risky, but they
Yeah.
saved money. They made it happen.
Sorry,
And
quickly, what are your parents' names?
Peter and Lily.
Okay, thank you.
They ended up making it happen. And it's quite interesting because when they first opened, my dad did traditional Shanghainese food.
Okay.
And at the time, no one knew what that was, right? The people who knew it, there were probably 10 of those people in the city.
Oh,
and
wow.
my parents knew all of them.
Yeah, right. Friends and family.
Yeah, friends and
Starts
family.
with friends and family.
And so my dad's like, oh, this is not going to work. We're going
Not
to
a
go out
good
of
business
business.
model.
Yes, we
Yeah.
need to do something that the American public will enjoy.
Okay.
And that's when my dad started thinking about, the local ingredients here. And it was really genius. I mean, he's doing what people are doing now, right? At a time when no one was really doing that.
Locavore.
Yeah,
Is
he
that
was
one of the
like-
words? Yeah, yeah.
He's taking local ingredients and fusing that with Chinese food, but it wasn't quite like Chinese American in all the other Chinese restaurants, right? Like the standard mugu gai pan.
Yeah, sweet and sour.
Sweet and sour.
Yeah.
He was like, I don't want to do that either. I want to kind of create my own thing.
I love it.
And so he started taking his own Chinese cuisine and fusing it with, I'll give you an example, and it's in the book.
Sure.
There's this thing called sun jian bao. Sun jian bao is a pan.
Bao.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yes.
It's a pan-fried juicy pork bun,
Yes.
right? The bottom is crisp with a little oil. The top is yeasty bun. Inside it's filled with pork with soup. But that's very traditional. And this is now in very popular here now, right?
Yeah.
So he said, I'm going to change the filling, and I'm going to put zucchini and peas in there because zucchini is very fresh out here. People love it. American people like peas. Let's just put fresh vegetables they recognize in a bun. And the vegetarians and vegans went crazy over this thing. They're like,
Good.
oh my God,
Yes.
never had anything. The vegetables were crisp and juicy.
Right.
And he paired it with peanut sauce because when he came,
I knew I should have eaten before this conversation. That sounds so good.
but it's genius, right?
Yes.
He came, prior to that, he'd never tried peanut butter before.
Okay.
It was only sesame paste.
Right.
And he came and tried, I think it's Skippy or Jif, one of the common brands. And my dad was like, oh my God, this is the most delicious thing ever. He's like, I need to make a sauce with it. And so, very atypical for Chinese cuisine. They don't have usually peanut sauce.
Yeah, I
it's a
don't-
little bit more Thai.
I think of Thai, yeah.
So he made basically Chinese sesame sauce using peanut butter instead, the same concept. And that sauce is kind of like our mother sauce, right?
Yes.
It goes on so many different things.
Yes.
But that's kind of the gist of how the place got started and how it kind of took off.
Were they, either one of them or both, cooking at home, I assume? They had grown up, people cook at home. It used to just be what everyone did.
Yes.
Right? Restaurants were
hard to
a
believe.
treat.
Yeah.
Right? But I'm assuming
Yes.
some of the recipes came from just things that they make.
So my dad's really like the creative person behind all this. My mom is an amazing cook, but my dad was the driving force behind the menu. He was the chef. He's the one cooking at the wok. But yes, he knew how to do all of this because he was always interested in cooking.
Okay.
His family, 4 siblings. The mom, the dad. So it's a big family. They're always, like you said, cooking at home, right?
Always.
And so they're always thinking about how to make things good. Our whole family is big foodie. While we're eating, we're talking about food. Like, we can never get off the topic.
Yeah.
And that's where he developed all his, I would say, culinary skills. He would always read cookbooks, watch people cook, and he would observe his mom. His mom was an incredible cook who was also very creative. She always did her own spin on things, and that, I think, is what carried him through here. He's like, I'm just going to use what I know,
Yes.
what I've been doing,
Yes.
and now I'm going to just pick all the beautiful things from San Francisco and fuse it together.
I love it. It's the word that comes to mind is self-taught, right?
Yes.
That's what self-teaching is. It's like, it's not saying like, oh, there's not, there's a problem with schools. It's like, this is how I learn. This
Right.
is how I best learn, and
Yeah.
then do.
Oh, it was perfect.
Good for your dad that he did well at it.
Yeah, we were very lucky.
Yeah. So you said was it your grandfather that chose this spot, and so the restaurant has been in this location the whole time?
Since day one.
Amazing. And I'm gonna try to do some math. Please forgive me, Kathy, and my listeners. 88? 1988?
Yes.
Okay. Yes.
Very good.
So they just went for it.
They went for it. It's like I said, my mom's the driving force. She's like, we've sealed the deal already, right? You're either on board or not, and if you're not, I'm still going to do it.
Yes.
And so my dad, of course, is kind of a control freak. So if you do it, he's coming in and he's like, I need to make sure this is all done correctly.
Yeah.
I think my mom knew that, and then my mom kind of just let him, okay, now do your thing.
Like if she turns on the machine,
Yeah.
it'll keep running.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then it was like the perfect bet that they made, right?
Yes.
I think if my dad decided to be a realtor, probably we would have a very different life.
So different. That's a sliding door, right? It's like,
Yeah.
We went this way.
Well, there's a funny story in the book about how I said, like, it would have been a disaster anyways, because he was, like, trying to be a realtor, but also working in the restaurant, like, kind of making ends meet. He was never home to take a call because there was no cell phone or pagers even at the time.
Right.
It was just voicemail, landline. So I would be his secretary.
Oh, wow.
I would answer the phone, and I'm like, mind you, like 6. And my dad would say, repeat this every time someone calls and asks for me, and be like, Peter Fang is not here right now. Please leave a message, and he will get back to you. Like a machine.
Yes.
Except a child.
Right.
And can you imagine? And we had no clients.
Right.
I don't think he sold a single house.
Do you remember doing any of that?
I remember all of it. Century 21. I don't
Okay.
even know if they exist anymore, but he was like,
right.
Century 21.
I remember them because now we're in Century 21.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if that works anymore. Okay, so you said there were some friends, people who already knew the kind of food that your dad was making, and also vegetarians right away. Like, how quickly did overall success happen, would you say?
I mean, it wasn't immediate.
Right.
I think it took some time for him to realize, okay, I can't do Shanghainese food. He
Okay.
did it for a while.
Okay.
But then, the empty dining rooms, the few minimal orders that he would get just wasn't going to keep the business afloat.
Right.
And that's when he started to think about changing the menu. But then it still takes time for people to catch on, right? And so...
Especially in the days before the internet.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so, you need a lucky break, and we got a lucky break. The lucky break was that Peter Kaufman, who's the son of Phil Kaufman, a really prolific and famous screenwriter and director, he happened to be walking outside of House of Nanking with the daughter of Bai Yang.
Okay.
Bai Yang, back then, was like the most famous actress, movie star of all time in China.
Okay.
That daughter lived in Shanghai.
Okay.
And she walked down the street with him and said, Peter, we have to stop in here. It smells like home. And
that's so beautiful.
they both come in, and my dad instantly, like, they started speaking Shanghainese with each other. And my dad was like so happy. Oh my God, I met another person who's like from Shanghai. And he was just so happy to cook for her. And so I think like my dad knew at that moment, he was like, okay, I'm going to make stuff that she's going to like, and then I'm going to make some stuff that maybe Peter might like, right? He just kind of put out a whole bunch of stuff, and they were blown away by it.
Yes.
Like, you know, the lady from Shanghai was pleased, and then Peter was pleased. He told his dad, and then his dad brought Patricia Unterman, who's a very famous food writer, food critic.
Yeah.
And I'll show you later, but that review is up there.
Oh, awesome.
We hung it up. And when it came out, you know, it's like Sunday paper, right? That's the Bible for everybody to know where to go eat. Not Yelp. And they put the French Laundry next to House of Nanking for the review.
Oh, okay.
And we both got 3 stars.
Amazing.
But the dollar signs were very different. $4 signs for French Laundry,
Yes,
and $1 sign
gas
for
and
House
bridge
of
tolls are a
Nanking,
little
right?
less.
So then, of course, like, that was just so serendipitous. And then right after that came out, my dad and my mom, I remember, we came to the restaurant, and there was a huge line outside before we even opened.
Yes.
Right? Some people even holding, like, you know, the review.
Oh, wow.
And people were just like, oh my God, we need to go try this place. And that's kind of what set everything off.
Okay.
And at that point, you know, my dad already had some dishes that he was like modifying. And once people ate all of that, they were just like, this is incredible. And then the line has been that way since, you know?
Yes. Once it hit, it just hasn't stopped.
Yeah.
Okay, you've kind of sprinkled yourself in so far. I know I asked you to talk about the story of your parents and opening the restaurant. Would now be a good time now to pivot to your life?
Yes.
You told us where you were born. You told us about I'm going to call it the Kathy Fang answering machine.
Yes. We got to bring that back.
Yeah. What other early memories do you have as a San Francisco born and raised, Chinatown born and raised person?
I feel like most of my fondest memories, there's 2 that like immediately pop in my head. One of them is really being in the restaurant. I feel like a very exciting time frame, like late 80s, early 90s. The city was incredibly lively, right? Like what you call the red light district, which is like Broadway and everything. It was popping, like in the middle of the night. There's always people around. People
Carol
drinking.
Dodo was still over there at the Condor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like that was kind of the time frame that like life kind of became colorful for me. When I was younger, like, you know, it's just playgrounds or whatnot.
Sure.
But at that point, it was like I was working or hanging out in one of the most popular restaurants ever. And I would be doing things and interacting with people. It was just very exciting. And getting to try my dad's food. That was a very atypical lifestyle. And then afterwards...
Did you know it as a kid? Did you know that not all the other kids were like you?
Well,
in that way, at least?
Yeah, I knew that they were all going to bed early. But some days, I was also jealous of that, right? There are some days where I was just like, oh, I just wish I could like be home right now and go to sleep versus makeshift bed and sleep on the chairs.
Yeah.
But what's really cool is I get to go eat with my parents after we closed. And so we'd go to North Beach. Like an adult, right? And then, like, you know, it's the first time I saw a bar fight and all these things, right? It's just like, you know, not something probably a 7-year-old or an 8-year-old is used to seeing.
It's a different world back then.
But, like, I got to eat so much, like, that was my introduction to Italian food, red sauce places, Alfredo, like, all this stuff. It was just so exciting.
Do you want to name drop any restaurants? Do you remember?
So there was a place that was called New City. And they had the best Alfredo pasta, fettuccine Alfredo pasta with prawns. So that was my first introduction to Italian food, right? Like creamy sauce. Then we went like red sauce direction, and then ravioli. We got more and more adventurous, started tasting. And then there used to be another place called Basta Pasta.
I kind of remember that.
Basta Pasta's on the corner of Vallejo. And I think it's a Thai place now.
Yeah.
And it had 2 stories. That place was kind of like the fancy place,
Okay.
white tablecloth.
Yeah.
They had the best like veal piccata, and then they had a pasta called Basta pasta,
Okay.
which I then remade like myself at home.
Yes.
Even as a kid, I loved cooking.
Yes.
And it was like a light white wine sauce with mushrooms, sausage, and tomatoes and basil.
We're gonna have to stop talking about food.
This is why I love what I do.
So good. Oh my god.
But it's just like those types of memories
Yeah.
of just like hanging out, like lively. This is what I love about food business.
Mm-hmm.
So that was my exposure. Those are the best memories as a kid.
You must have done some, and I'm doing air quotes, normal kid things like go to the mall, hang out with.
You know, I would say I didn't do any normal kid things until maybe I hit middle school.
Teenage.
Yeah, teenage
Yeah.
and middle school, when I had a little bit more independence,
Right.
where my parents didn't have to be with me and it was okay for me to be with like friends and their family. That's when I was introduced to going to malls and doing that. But prior to that, I would say all of the elementary school, it was very atypical. My life was always here in Chinatown. So I didn't go to malls. I went to the supermarket here, right? I would go to all the local markets.
Yeah.
And a first movie theater experience is the Great Star Theater, which is here on Jackson
Still
Street.
there, yep.
My god-grandfather used to be the janitor there.
Okay.
And some mornings, both my dad and I would wake up early to help him
Amazing.
and go pick up. I remember picking up soda cans.
Okay.
There, people were drinking soda cans there.
Sure.
They leave it on the
Just
floor.
throw it down. Yeah,
I know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Gosh, as
I guess it gives someone something to do.
So I would go and help pick up, and we'd clean up the theater. And for doing that, I'd get to watch movies there for free. But they were Chinese movies.
Yes.
So, like, I didn't get to watch Western movies for quite some time.
Okay.
And, like, I did everything here. My first hair color, like, all the doctors, everything. Like,
This
ophthalmologist.
place raised you.
Yes.
No joke. Like, no hyperbole or anything.
My dentist is still here.
Amazing.
And I stopped seeing my ophthalmologist because he was so old that he could barely see.
Oh.
So, like, it's just, I don't want to let it go.
Yeah.
Everything, all my early memories are here, even the playground.
Amazing. Is it still there?
It's still here, right here.
Oh yeah, the what's it called? Portsmouth Square? Or, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I would not be able to call this show a show about San Francisco and talking to a born and raised San Franciscan without having you name all the schools you went to.
So I went to Jefferson for elementary school, which is in the Inner Sunset.
Mm-hmm.
And then I went to Convent of the Sacred Heart Middle School through high school.
Is that the one on Gough or Broadway?
That's one on Broadway.
Broadway. Okay, yeah.
Yeah. So I spent most of my life in the Inner Sunset, and then like I didn't spend that much time in that Broadway area. It was just go to school, and maybe sometimes on Fillmore and Union Street right after school. But then soon after that, it's like straight back to here,
Back to
whether it's go
Chinatown.
home or back to Chinatown.
Yeah. How did you get around as a kid? Let's say in high school.
So, you know, my dad did something really interesting that I like always talk about. You know, growing up, I didn't spend a ton of time with my parents once I started school, and
Right.
homework became a big thing,
Yeah.
right? Like, I couldn't come to the restaurant, so I wouldn't see them. I would wake up too early for my dad to see me, and then by the time I went to sleep, my dad and my mom still wouldn't be home. So the only time I ever saw my dad was pick up. My dad made it a point to always pick me up from school, and we would go eat in Chinatown. And so we would have like an hour during his break, his lunch, and my third lunch. 'Cause I eat a lot. And that was our time, father-daughter time. And that's how we ended up having like such a close relationship, because typically you might think, oh, well, if the parents are never there, how do you have that close relationship? So yeah, that was kind of like the pickup situation. Now, I played sports.
Okay.
I know it's hard to believe because I'm really short, but I was like varsity for volleyball.
Volleyball, okay.
And I played
can
back
jump.
row. No, I can't jump.
Sorry, what was the
I
other
can't
one?
play.
You said another sport, or
No, just
Oh,
volleyball.
I think you said the position.
Oh, I was varsity, and I played back row.
Back
so
row,
I
okay.
had a killer serve that no one could return. And I'm so fast and could turn any ball because I'm so low to the ground that I played club volleyball. That's how serious I was. That
Okay.
means you play all year round.
Oh wow.
And so navigating that, my dad had no time. I leaned on like all my friends and stuff like that. But it's funny, my dad never saw a single game. My parents never saw a single game.
He was busy running this place.
Yeah, so they just take my word for it.
Which
They're
is
like,
a different kind of support.
Right.
Yeah.
And back then, people didn't record.
They take your word for it that you were good?
Yes.
Oh, wow. Was no one videoing it or anything?
Nobody did that back then.
Less so, yeah. You're lucky if someone did, I feel like.
Back then, I don't know. I was kind of an ugly duckling then.
Oh,
no. I have some photos, like glasses, braces.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. That's high school, right?
I started middle school doing that all the way through high school.
Okay.
Yeah.
That was chef and restaurant owner Kathy Fang. We recorded this episode at House of Nanking. On the next Storied San Francisco, hear the rest of Kathy's story. Part 2 drops this Thursday, wherever you get podcasts. Music for Storied San Francisco was produced, performed, and curated by Otis McDonald. Our contributing producer is Aaron Lim of Bitch Talk Podcast. And the show is produced and hosted by me, Jeff Hunt. Now in our 8th season, we have more than 300 episodes available on our website, storiedsf.com, or wherever you listen to podcasts. If possible, please rate and review the show. I want to know what you think. Find us on Substack for our monthly newsletter and more. And follow us on Instagram and Threads at storiedsf. Reach us there or email us at storiedsf@gmail.com. Thanks for listening. Try to stay hopeful in these dark times. Keep being wacky, creative, and kind out there. And we'll see you next time on Storied San Francisco. We acknowledge and respect the first humans of the unceded land we call San Francisco, the Ramaytush Ohlone. We condemn the genocide of these and other tribes across the Western Hemisphere. We honor their legacy and history, and we support rematriation and sovereignty efforts.